You are listening to the Sacred Pathways podcast, stories and wisdom from walking the heart's way. I am your host and co-journer, Sydney Searchwell Simpson, and I am thrilled to walk this journey with you. Bismillah. Let us begin. Blessings, beloved. This is a reflection that I wrote and recorded as part of the larger body of offerings I've been sharing on my Substack, which corresponds with the Sacred Pathways podcast. It's a space where I explore this path of devotion, this path of liberation, this path of returning to the inner truth that we all hold through storytelling, poetry, and emergent, soul-deep, sincere reflections. So if this speaks to you, you can always find more of posts like these and receive them directly to your inbox by subscribing to our Substack, and you can find all information for that in the show notes. Without further ado, here we go. Embracing exile and returning home. Learning how to accept the sacred sacrifices of a sincere path, by Sydney Searchwell Simpson. Blessings, beloveds. I pray that you and your loved ones are in peace of heart and mind when you find this. Lately, much of my time has been spent listening to God. Not the dominating, punitive figure taught by dogmatic institutions, but the incomprehensible and infinite presence that exists within and beyond all beings. I've been speaking with God in the seedlings emerging from the spring soil. I've been in dialogue with God in the ever-flowing creek behind my home, in the rabbits that appear on my path, in the people I encounter, in my own heart. This connection, cultivated over years of unlearning the falsehoods I was taught to value above what I felt to be true, has become my refuge and in many ways my home. It is the sacred ground where I remember that I am eternally rooted in and with this presence. I can rest here as life carries me through transitions, revelations, unexpected changes, and reckonings, each strengthening my conviction in the path I've been called to walk. This practice of listening has offered me the spaciousness to witness where conditioned behaviors still limit my capacity to embody the prayer that I offered to God nearly 5 years ago, where I asked, please, bring your fullest capacity through my unique expression in this lifetime. It is here that I've been learning to deepen my faith and presence in the unfolding process and to surrender the need to be understood, a need I've long associated with validation, approval, and recognition. It was the pursuit of this need outside of myself that led me to give away my power, my choice, my love, my gifts, my truth, my intuition, my knowing, my capacity, and to doubt my own experience as less than or even wrong. Most of the time, I walk my path with confidence and conviction, but when someone projects their fears onto my path or asks me to validate it within limited imaginations and beliefs that the soul is too vast for, their doubts can awaken the shadows of fear that still linger in my own mind. How am I to explain that my strategy is trusting the divine intelligence that speaks through intuition? How am I to explain that surrendering to the uncertainties of this path feels more real than following the illusions of certainties that offer no true safety, let alone peace, fulfillment, aliveness, or lasting prosperity? How am I to explain so I can be understood, so I can feel seen and accepted, and thus grant myself full permission to finally stand in what is true for me without apology? Because am I really doing something wrong by doing so? I'm tired of explaining my existence and justifying my path. I'd rather offer that energy to living fully into it. And to do so, I must understand, see, accept, and embrace what is true and felt by my clearest self without apology. I must turn toward and root myself in what lives at the core of me and the core of all. The most expansive path is within. One of the most important teachings ayahuasca offered me was this: the most expansive path is within. It is to this wisdom I return again and again. No one and no thing can guide us more truly along this path than what lives within us, because it is that which is calling us. It is that which is our ultimate destination. It is that which knows the way when no way seems visible. When I return to this path within, the love and warmth I receive is filled with grace. It allows me to meet the resistance and barriers not with judgment, but with love. There is such wisdom in this, that the process is the essence of the destination. I can now meet resistance for what it is: a teacher, conditioning, a passing storm, but never the truth of who I am. Perhaps it is only the clarity of the path itself and the conviction, courage, patience, and faith it demands that can truly reveal who it is I am becoming. This is both the gift received and the offering given. In giving ourselves to the path, we are granted the opportunity to discover through our becoming who we truly are, and that is our gift to the world. Embracing exile. Exile is the mark of any deep and far-going creativity. Kenneth White. I just finished reading John Philip Newell's The Great Search, Turning to Earth and Soul in the Quest for Healing and Home. It is truly a gift to this world. In it, he shares the stories and teachings of 9 pilgrims and heart seekers, souls who knew and embodied the universality of God beyond dogma, and who saw God in the heart of the earth and all of her creations. Not only did I see myself in each of these seekers, I met the sacred that holds all together across time and culture and tradition. The book reminded me of what I am devoted to. It reminded me of why I chose this path. Any sincere path requires sacrifice, and that sacrifice isn't a one-time event before the journey begins. It's a continuous, reverent process, a refining fire that reveals our priorities and births our transformation as we walk deeper into the mystery. The word sacrifice originates from the Latin sacrificium, to make sacred or to set apart for divine purpose. And I love this for many reasons. It reminds me that surrendering to the path within is a sacred act. That act and what unfolds from it is holy. And in this holiness, we are naturally set apart, not in superiority, but because remembering the sacredness of life will set you apart in a world that has forgotten. This sense of exile I feel from the norms I was raised in is not personal. The purpose of this path, the process it requires, the revelations it offers, they are larger than the small, separate self. Standing and walking in truth demands sacrifices that awaken us to the gift of being set apart for purposes too holy to name. This I am learning to accept. I don't have a grand finale for you here. I haven't arrived at some destination where I can offer you a roadmap or a fixed answer, but I don't believe that that's what's needed. I am living into the process every single day, and perhaps all I can offer is this. If you are too, You are not alone. We are all homeward bound. We may wander, stumble, or force ourselves forward. We may get lost, carve our own paths, or follow those who have walked before. We may resist, we may weep, we may try and try again, and still we are homeward bound. What grace that is. What grace indeed. If you are interested in sharing your heart path story, art, or in sharing a paradigm-shifting conversation on the podcast, you can find the application in the show notes or the description bar. There you will also find links to join our community on Substack, where I share personal and emergent audios related to the episode themes and my personal process of living and being another way. Come engage and connect with other listeners and co-journers in the gatherings and conversations held only on Substack. You can also find the link to my website, Jivan Mukta Healing, to learn more about the work that I do to be of service to the world at this time. Until then, I wish you and your beloveds peace and presence on the path and journey. Connect soon. Thank you for listening to Sacred Pathways, stories and wisdom from walking the heart's way. As a budding show, I would be incredibly grateful if you supported this podcast by giving us a rating, sharing this or any other episode with your loved ones in person and online, and letting me know in the comment section below how this episode resonated with you. Engagement is lovingly received and appreciated if you have received value from this. See you next time.